An MMA specialist fighting at a sub-fighter MMA and raw talent boxing. He wears the gray trunks with black trim and white littering, weighing in at an even 145 pounds. From Laguna Hills, his record at 1-0. How about it for Geoff, the gentleman, Mellor?
How are you feeling?
I feel good. I feel ready. I mean, I'm basically, 8 days away from the fight, 7 days from the weigh-in. OC Fairgrounds fighting for LFA against Nick Battis. But he's a tough opponent, so I'm ready for it. But
2 fights into being pro, third one's coming up.
Yeah.
Is there studying at all, or you're just focusing on your craft?
Focusing on myself for the most part. The reason I don't look at my opponents anymore is because I already see there's certain things you'll see in certain fights. You're never going to actually get the same thing. Mm-hmm. He's always going to be training, you're always going to be training if you expect the same thing. There's obviously going to be tendencies that I'm going to get. I'm going to look at those early in my camp, but right now I'm not watching any film on him. It's all focused on me, what I'm going to be doing.
Honing in on your craft.
Honing in on me. My coaches may be worried about that, but for me,
okay,
I'm not worried about that, and that's where I love my team and how they play out on it.
Oh, good deal. So it's you have to take the fight to him. And
you have to say, you have to not let him do his thing.
And that sounds stupid. People may ask, like, well, aren't you taking the fight to every opponent you have? Sometimes you may be a little bit more reserved or conservative with your thing, trying to get a gauge as to how he's moving, what they're looking like in that moment.
Being respectful.
Okay.
I can respect your takedown, your strikes, whatever you have. I can respect that while still taking, like you said, taking the fight to him.
Exactly.
I'm going to take the fight to you, or anyone should take the fight to somebody regardless, because you have to know what you're good at. Mm-hmm. If you don't know what you're good at, how are you supposed to actually do well in that fight, thrive in those rounds, make sure that you're controlling?
Exactly.
If you're second guessing everything that he's doing.
Okay.
Because if your focus is on him, why would you focus on your opponent?
Exactly.
Your opponent is now your forethought in your mind when it should be, what am I going to do to beat him?
Instead of it being like instinctual, it's secondary almost, because now you may be second guessing, you're thinking about what moves they're going to be doing next, and so
exactly.
You hesitate.
Now you're thinking, oh God, what if? If you're playing the what if game,
jeez,
what if kills?
Yeah, in life,
everything.
In
anything, in anything, kills everything.
Start doubting. So
what if this?
Your first fight, you won.
Yeah.
You go into the second fight.
Totally different story.
Great fight.
Yeah, good fight. Split decision.
Good fighter. It goes to the end. And how are you feeling after?
A whole range of things. The funniest thing that I noticed was I got done with because going from amateur to pros, that was my first fight ever, because my first fight was my first professional fight was a first round finish. I won.
Exactly.
So I fought for 4 minutes. I think it was 4 minutes something seconds. Second fight, I remember in between second and third round, it goes all 3 rounds. I remember it's in between the second round. Looking back at my corner, the bell just rung. It's been 10 minutes of us fighting now. I'm used to 3 threes. Mm-hmm. You're fighting for 9 minutes, but you get a break. And you get 2 different breaks.
Yeah.
Perfect, I'm great with that. Then you go to the 5-5s, you get the 1 minute in between, but still, 3 5s. Mm-hmm. You get the 1 minute in between, but it's still 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. I get done and I go, that's a full amateur fight right there. Exactly. I got another round to go.
Exactly.
So now I'm thinking like, okay, it's game time. That was the biggest thing from that. And I think that part of that was the reason why I kind of stepped forward in that third round a little bit more. Probably not, definitely not enough, but.
If I remember correctly, because I watched your fight a few times after, and you, if I remember correctly, you almost had him. Was there a point where it was on the ground? I'm trying to remember.
There was in the third round I went for a submission of Kimura.
Yeah.
I was off his back. I was sliding off, so I went for this Kimura. In the process, the guy's a savvy grappler. He knows what he's doing. In the process, he took his other arm out, neutralized the position, ended up on top, and landed a couple elbows in the process.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a second where I did have his arm, but like you saw, the guy was savvy. He knew what he was doing.
Very quick for him to kind of transition out of that.
He knew what he was doing.
So then it's over. You're waiting.
Oh, I thought I had done enough.
Exactly.
Which
a lot of us did.
One judge gave it to me, so one judge thought I did as well. So.
And so going forward, because like, how long does it take for you to kind of get your bearings back together, process everything, or find order in a lot of this stuff and move forward?
It's different every time.
Okay.
I've had losses where I jumped back in Monday morning. I was ready to train.
Okay.
I've had losses where it took me, and I won't say which one was which, but I've had losses where, because I've lost, out of 15 fights, I've lost 4 now, I think. Something like that. 4 now, I think. And so sometimes it takes 2 weeks, sometimes it takes 2 days, sometimes it takes 2 hours, and you're already, I need to get back in there. And sometimes it's, like I said, 2 weeks, and you're still thinking like, am I even meant to do this? But when you get back into that reality, you're not thinking right. You're getting back into that reality of like, I know who I am. I've done this 15 times. That one L versus the 11 other, 10 other, 9 other W's is nothing.
Exactly.
So you have to take the good with the bad and big picture.
So you look good, you feel good.
Oh yeah.
You're working, you're doing what you love.
Yeah.
You're fighting, you're juggling. Going forward, where do you see yourself? Like, what's the ultimate goal for you? Now, you may have several goals.
Number one goal would definitely be, there are 2 possible for me. I would say either ONE FC or UFC, something on that caliber. They are probably the most competitive, or maybe Bellator probably would be the 3 top competitive ones.
Okay.
But one of those promotions, maybe PFL. There's a bunch of new ones now.
Yeah.
So where they are nationwide, they are world class. But then at the end of the day, there's still always the UFC.
Of course. Because the whole thrive or die thing, dude, at this point is understanding that nothing is guaranteed, controlling what we can control, and that everything is fucking earned.
Yeah.
Like, do not expect anything to be given. If you're lucky enough to make a connection with someone, right, that's able to fast track you somewhere, great, but you can't sit back on that, And I think you're at that point where it's always just kind of good. You just got to do what needs to be done. You're doing what you need to do. And so with that being said, like, how does establishing like a thrive or die fucking mentality help in those challenging moments where you wake up and you're like, dude, do I really want to do this today? I got a long day. How am I going to juggle? I'm tired. Or, how does it keep you focused, but also in the moment? Because that's the biggest thing, is making sure that you wake up happy and you're enjoying what you do.
Yeah.
Granted, you're going to have moments, right, where you have a little downers and things like that. But overall, being fucking happy doing what you're doing. Like,
at the end of the day, you have to find what you want to thrive at. You have to find what wakes you up in the morning, whatever you want to be the best at. You have to figure that out first and foremost. And that might be tougher for some people than others. I figured it out pretty quickly because I started fighting right at 18. But no one's forcing you to do anything. So for most people that say like, oh, I hate my job, I hate my boss, I hate all these things, like, so quit.
Exactly.
Well, I can't just do that. Well, why not? I got to pay my rent. You'll find a way. If you really, really want to, if you want to work hard at it and you want to thrive, quit. If I ever complain, and this is, you mentioned bringing like new people in your life and them being a blessing or maybe a help in some way. If I'm trying to, I don't want to take them for granted, but I have to also count them for the blessing that they are, use that to help me in whatever way. Like, my team helps me every single day. So I take that for what it is, and my coach will tell me every single day, no one's forcing you to do this, this is what you want to do. His favorite thing to tell me is, you complain about something, he goes, well then quit. We'll all still be here doing this. So at the end of the day, if you want to quit, you can quit.
Yeah. So you're all together but separate. You're all individually deciding what matters, what doesn't matter.
Like-minded people will always push each other to grow.
Challenge each other.
Iron sharpens iron, all those other things. If you want to do something, you have to find like-minded individuals, figure out how they do it. Maybe it's not the way you do it, but you have to figure out how it's done, and now put your own input in there. And that's the biggest thing that helps me or makes me want to wake up in the morning, is I get to now go, oh, what new challenge am I going to get today? And go, how do I fix that? Because fighting is so weird in that anything can happen, nothing's guaranteed. So I'm going to always have to decide, well, he shot in or he punched me in the face, what are you going to do to that? You can back up, or you can step in and take that from him, take that fight, say, fuck you. And that's the biggest thing that I need to work at, that I needed to work on, was that fuck you.
Like in life in general.
Yeah, in life in general. Why are you
fighting in the cage?
Yeah. Someone says you can't do it. Someone says, oh, you can't be the best real estate agent. You can't be the best fighter. You can't be the best father, husband, mother, whatever you want to call. Fuck you. Why not?
Yeah. And it's important that you said, like, the guys around you are like, dude, you don't want to fucking do this. Don't do this. We're going to be here because we want to do this. And we're going to be here for you if you want to do this. But believe me, you can't have us force you to do anything. You got to recognize that you're waking up to do this because it's for you and only you, and that's it. Yeah. And to have that support system is very important. We need a fucking support system. Whether it's one person, 5 people, 10 people, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, you need a support system, like-minded individuals, whatever you want to call it, a team, however you want to say it. You need something to not attach yourself to, but something to be a part of, to check back into every once in a while. Because at the end of the day, life pulls things from you, right? Like your energy, your time, this, that, and then having this team that's focused on everybody, let's grow together. You're putting something back in.
Exactly.
Versus now life is pulling out. You need to still put things back in.
Yeah. That's a good way to look at it. In general, you get people that may not even realize at the end of the day that they're sucking the life from you.
Yeah.
And they may be good people.
But at the end of the day, people are selfish, and God knows I'm selfish.
Yeah. Well, we have to be.
Yeah.
To a certain level.
To a certain level, if you want to do what you want to do in your life and you have goals, you have to have some bit of selfishness.
You have to put yourself first.
You have to.
Yeah. But recognizing that it's also a good thing to take care of others in the meantime as best as you can.
And that's with the team. You have to. It can't be everybody. I can't help everybody, but I can help the people that really, I think, want to do this or really want to help me. If there's a like relationship of the give and take, we can help each other, as well as people that maybe they can't help me, but at the end of the day, they might help somebody else.
Exactly.
So, but it can't be everybody. I can't be walking around giving everything to everybody. I still have to come back and take something for myself.
Exactly.
And it's tough to find that boundary. That's the hard part.
That's the thing, and that's just what the journey's all about. A day at a time, and just doing the best that we can with what we have, and learning every day and trying to understand, and that's it.
Yeah,
live deliberately, you know.
That's the funny thing about, like, my whole life is martial arts at this point. Like, I do nothing but I coach and teach martial arts or personal fitness, whatever, as well as training myself. And then I have my coaches who give back to me. I give what they gave to somebody else, and it's a chain of what goes. Eventually, you're going to see your time to invent something and also to help somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
But first off, I need to help me.
Exactly. Very true, man.
Yeah, and that's where it's tough to say, but some people want, like, that's the hardest thing. It's tough to say that you have to be a little bit selfish.
You have to. You can't get away from the natural hierarchy. You know, your partner, your significant other, kids maybe.
Yeah, there are groups.
Definitely.
There are groups and levels to everything. Yeah. But like I said, you can't help everybody.
Exactly. All right, brother.